Hi, and welcome to Ivy English. I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is the 17th of December. We're on page 46 of the magazine, and today we're talking about victory and defeat in The Old Man and the Sea. And I'm going to defer to Wesley on this article because Wesley knows so much about English literature that it's mind-blowing and I always learn so much.
So...Well, thank you. But let's deal with the title first.
Yes.
这个中文标题呢是《老人与海：不轻言放弃的决心》啊。那当然，它中文标题跟英文标题不是翻译的关系。英文的标题 Victory 是胜利 ，Defeat 是挫败。好，当然是这两样东西呢，我们要谈的是这两样东西在《老人与海》这本书里面的。
And I'm going to admit, I've never read this book.
Ooh.I've
read a lot of books, but this is one of the ones I haven't.
Really?
So I'm really going to depend on you.
I bet you can finish it in 1 hour.
No? Well, Hemingway is really simple, yeah? He has really simple sentences, so it's easy to absorb. And then they only kind of hit you later.
Yeah.
You're all like, dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's his special technique.
Yeah, that's why he's famous.
Yeah, 事实上, they called it the iceberg theory.
Oh.Yeah,
那海明威他有一个很有名的就是那个the iceberg theory 冰山理论，因为他说这个冰山我们看到的只是大概1/8，那底下还有7%。那他说一个好的作者呢，他只写那1/8，他把表面上的给你看。那一个好的读者就会知道说，哇，虽然这里只有3个字，可是它底下有好多好多东西，你就会去用你的 imagination， 用你的各种各样的 knowledge 去解释为什么这个地方写了这3个字。所以像刚刚 Angel 老师讲那个，真的就是 Hemingway 他厉害的地方，就你读过去，老人与海，这文字没什么简单，没什么难的很快看过去，可是后来你才慢慢发现，哇，这下面有好多东西。
Yeah, and that's why people like him.
Yeah,
that's why he's canon. Let's read this article. Ernest Hemingway was a celebrated American author whose groundbreaking writing style continues to influence novelists to this day. He was born in 1899 in the small town of Oak Park, Illinois. As a boy, he enjoyed hunting, fishing, and spending time outdoors. Hemingway's other love was writing. He covered sports for his high school newspaper and worked as a journalist after graduation. When World War I broke out, Hemingway wanted to get involved. He served as a volunteer ambulance driver for the Italian army until he was injured. The experience made him familiar with the horrors of war, a theme that would influence his writing. When the war ended, Hemingway moved to Paris and became part of a group of foreign artists living abroad. There he penned his first novel, The Sun Also Rises, which was published in 1926. The book examines his generation's confusion with life in the aftermath of the war. During his career, Hemingway would write several acclaimed novels and short stories. He was also fond of travel and constantly pursued new adventures. He hunted lions in Africa, went deep-sea fishing in Cuba, and watched bullfights in Spain. Despite his success, Hemingway suffered from depression. Sadly, in 1961, he committed suicide. Hemingway's straightforward writing style set him apart from his peers. Unlike many authors who relied on long sentences and complicated words, Hemingway preferred a more direct approach. He told stories with short, powerful sentences that focused on bold action and tight dialogue. Hemingway got straight to the heart of the matter, leaving out little details he felt the readers knew or could imagine themselves. Perhaps the work that best represents this style is his Pulitzer Prize-winning novella, The Old Man and the Sea. So we're stopping here and we're going to continue the second half tomorrow. But let's start with what we have here. Ernest Hemingway was a celebrated American author. If you're celebrated, you're not just well-known, you're enjoyed and loved by many. and you publicly talked about all the time. And his groundbreaking writing style, if you break the ground for something, it means you start something new. For instance, when you're going to build a new building, there's a groundbreaking ceremony. They, ceremoniously shovel up that first bit of dirt and they go, yay, and you have champagne and you're like, yay, we're going to do this big new project. But groundbreaking style means that you've changed how everyone thinks about how to write or how to paint or whatever. And his style continues to influence novelists to this day. I would argue that the American style of business writing is really predicated on Hemingway's style. Like everything that business writing celebrates is what Hemingway was known for. Get to the point, tight prose, simple sentences, easily understood concepts. Leave the details to later.
所以呢，这个地方讲到这个海明威呢，他是一个 celebrated， 就是很著名的 widely known and esteemed 就是尊敬啊 E-S-T-E-E-M-E-D， 所以他是个 celebrated American author， 一个很著名的美国作家。那他的 groundbreaking 就是开创性 breaking ground 啊，或者是 innovative 啊 I-N-N-O-V-A-T-I-V-E innovative， 它具有开创性的这个 writing style， 它的这个文体 continues to influence novelists， 持续的影响到小说家 to this day， 就是一直到今天啊。那刚刚这个 Angela 老师也有讲到，其实这个 business writing 啊，商业书写、商业英文的书写，其实它那些主要的原则也其实就是 Hemingway 他提出来主要的原则啊，就是这个不要用多余的字，简单明了，那让大家一看就懂。那这个细节慢慢再说啊。那这个事实上，美国的这种叫做 plain style 啊，他写不要用很大的字写，大家都看得懂这种英文。这个从美国殖民时期清教徒的文学就强调 plain style American plain style 啊，但是到了海明威呢，是把这 American plain style 发挥到极致的一个人。那各位，你读海明威的小说啊，你再去读 Thomas Hardy 或者是这个 Jane Austen 啊，这些英国的伟大的小说家，你发现他们的文体非常不一样啊。读这些英国小说家的这个小说呢，生字一大堆啊，你常常要查这个字看不懂，这个字看不懂。好，那他们的句子写得非常的漂亮，非常的华丽。可是你看海明威的小说的话呢，没有什么生字啊，他的句型都很简单，句子都短短的，他的 dialogues 通常也短短的。啊，所以这是很特别的一种 style。那美国很多在海明威之后的小说家都受到他的影响。那事实上，海明威他也受到其他小说家的影响。在他之前，例如说这个Sherwood Anderson， 美国另外一个短篇小说家，他的 style 对于这个 Hemingway 就有很大的影响。但是前面这些人呢，算上他前身都没有 Hemingway 用的这么漂亮，所以 Hemingway 等于说集大成，他到了一个巅峰，那改变了美国小说的这个 writing style。所以这句话没有夸张啊，他真的是 continues to influence， 尤其是 American novelists to this day。
So he was born in 1899, just 4 years before flight was invented, in the small town of Oak Park, Illinois, which is just a little bit south from where I was born.Oh. But much earlier than when I was born.
OK 好，所以呢，这个他出生的地方距离这个 Angela 老师出生的地方蛮近的哈。不过呢，这个时间差很久哈。海明威是在1899年啊，在一个小镇出生。
Now, as a boy, he enjoyed hunting, fishing, and spending time outdoors because Illinois and Wisconsin are really great for these activities. There's a lot of beautiful wildlife areas. So, yeah, you can really spend a lot of time outdoors happily.
Wow. 好，所以呢，这个 Angela 说，这个Wisconsin 啊 Illinois 这些州呢，都有尤其在当时啊，有很多的原野啊，可以让你好好的去这个打猎啊，去玩啊等等的。所以呢 as a boy 就小时候呢，海明威很喜欢去这个打猎，然后呢钓鱼，然后呢 spending time outdoors 啊，这个字面上的意思就是在户外度过时光，其实它的意思就是从事户外活动。
Hemingway's other love was writing, and this is unusual that people who are outdoorsy are also writers. I mean, it does happen, but it's rarer.Yeah,
通常喜欢户外运动的人比较不会这个喜欢写作这种静态的活动，但是海明威蛮特别的，他喜欢这些户外活动，可是他另外一个 love 就是爱做的事情啊，那是怎么样？是 writing， 他也很喜欢写作。
And early on, he figured out a way to have both. He covered sports. To cover something is to report on it for his high school newspaper, and then he worked as a journalist after graduation.
那他 covered 就是报道 to report on， 他报道运动的新闻 for his high school newspaper， 他高中的校刊他专门负责报道运动，这样他就把他对于写作的喜爱跟运动的喜爱结合了。然后呢 after graduation 他毕业之后呢，他 worked as a journalist， 他担任记者。美国很多伟大的小说家都是记者出身的这个很有趣，而且对他们的 style 也有影响。因为你如果是个记者的话，你就不会写太多那种 flowery 的那种文章。
You're just trying to get just the facts, ma'am.
Yeah， 所以担任记者的话，你就要简单有力的把该讲的讲出来，不该讲的、不需要讲的，统统不要讲。所以这个蛮有趣的。美国这个文学史上真的非常多人、非常多大师都是记者出身的。
Now, when World War I broke out,Wars break out, acne breaks out, fevers and sicknesses break out amongst the population, epidemics break out. It means something suddenly widespread and bad happened. So when World War I broke out, Hemingway wanted to get involved. Lots of people in his generation were like, oh, we can't stand by while this is going on.
Yeah.所以第一次大战爆发的时候 broke out 就是爆发，所以疾病啊、瘟疫啊什么的，中文可以用爆发的，英文很多都也可以用 broke out。好，然后呢，海明威这个时候他就 wanted to， 他想要 get involved， 他想要参与。好，那这个地方呢，刚刚 Angela 老师也讲，当时的一次大战的时候，美国很多的年轻人他们很急于想要参与这个欧洲，因为他们觉得我们不能这样子坐视不管这是文明与邪恶的战争。
So what did he do? He served as a volunteer ambulance driver because he can't for the Italian army. You can't, sign up for the Italian army if you're not Italian. That also would have been weird, like why you have these foreigners.
Yeah.
So, but you can do things like a volunteer ambulance driver. So they didn't get paid, but they went and helped all the people who got hurt in the war try to stay alive. And so he did this until he himself was injured. I think a bomb was too close to his ambulance or something like that.
Or a grenade. Yeah, I'm not
something
sure.
like that. Some kind of explosion.
那他served as 他的工作是个 volunteer， 就是志愿的 ambulance driver， 一个救护车的驾驶他帮谁呢？帮这个意大利的军队当救护车的驾驶，一直到 he was injured， 一直到他受伤。那这个受伤其实对他有很大很大的影响。
Oh, yeah. Because the dude was so into sports and running around, and to be injured to him was like it was a horror.
Yeah, and also a lot of people believe that he became impotent after that.
He may well have believed it as well, But so the experience of seeing all these people injured and maimed by war, by bombs and everything, really influenced him, and it made him familiar with the horrors of war. And I'm going to say that World War I was an especially horrible war because up until then, wars were not industrialized. World War I was our first industrial war. We had all these weird machines that nobody had before. There was a horrific loss of life in World War I that no one had quite experienced before. I mean, it wiped out like 2/3 of 4 generations of men.
Yeah, 所以这个第一次大战就像 Angela 是刚刚讲的，这个是第一次大战其实非常恐怖那当然二次大战也很恐怖，可是第一次大战特别恐怖的地方在于，当时是第一次真正的这个战争是 industrialized， 就是工业化的战争当时有很多现代的武器，但是问题是 tactics 那个战略战术没有被
They hadn't updated yet, so they were using old tactics with new machines, and it had really horrible results.
Yeah, 那战术没有进步，所以呢，那个时候他们是用古老的作战的方法，可是新式的武器。所以，例如说冲锋的时候呢，他们是一大群人，像古时候一样大家冲然后密集队形这样冲过去。那对方就用机关枪一直打，所以好像这个人肉绞肉机那样子。所以
It was like a meat grinder for people.
Yeah, meat grinder 所以非常的恐怖那这个死伤非常的惨重。然后还有当时用毒气大家发现毒气的使用也是造成很大很大的这个迫害。所以非常的悲惨，非常惨烈啦。所以这个 experience， 他在战争的这个经验，让他 made him familiar with， 就是让他熟悉了 the horrors of war， 就是战争的恐怖horror 这个字呢，它是 fear， 很强的 fear， 恐惧，而且有一个是 aversion就是你会觉得哎呀你要躲开它，太恐怖了，我不要看那种感觉所以 horror 是中文大概就是恐怖他发现他非常熟悉战争的恐怖，看到那个血肉横飞一个炸弹下来血肉横飞，然后这个尤其他又是救护车驾驶，他就去载那些战争受伤的断手断脚的那种，所以对他很大的影响。 那这个 theme 呢，还有他的在当时在战争的经历，后来就influenced his writing， 对他的writing 有很大的影响。事实上不只是影响，事实上他后来的小说里面很多就是以他当初战争的时候的经验当作蓝本来写的。
So when the war ended, Hemingway didn't go back home to the U.S. where people couldn't really understand what everybody had just went through. He went to Paris and found a bunch of people who had also seen and experienced what he'd experienced. And he became part of a group of foreign artists living abroad. And you can find all sorts of stories about these people because they were all artists and writers, so you can learn a lot about these guys' lives.
Yeah, 其实像这一类就是当时选择待在欧洲不回到美国的人呢，其实有一个特别的说法叫 American expatriates。那就是这个他们自我流放 expatriate 就是 EXPATRIATE EXPATRIATE 这个指的是怎么样？是 a person who is voluntarily absent from home or country。他不是被赶出国的，他自己不要回国，他等于是流亡自己流放到欧洲去了。那美国当时有很多人，他们最常待的就是最多的就是 London 跟 Paris 这两个地方最多。
Because Paris was super cheap after the war, so they could live there easily. That was why it was Paris. Also, there was a lot going on in Paris. It was interesting and cheap. London was still more expensive, even though London was also cheap at the time.
OK. 所以因为巴黎那个时候有很多艺术的气息在那边有很多新奇的东西在，而且生活费低，所以很多美国人就跑到巴黎去了。好，所以战争结束之后呢，海明威就到巴黎去了，那他就成为这个 American expatriates然后呢 living abroad.
You can call them American expats. It's easier than expatriates.
OK, 好，这个 expat 这是比较简单的一个说法那这个大家都了解一下这些字，因为这个对于当时的美国的文化发展、文学发展有很重要的影响。
So there, living in cheap Paris amongst all his friends who were equally post-traumatic disordered, he wrote his first novel, The Sun Also Rises, which was published in 1926, and it's arguably still his most famous book. You might disagree with me.
Yeah, 因为很多人这个认为他有其他更有名的作品，不过这个作品当然是这个非常的有名中文我还记得他的翻译非常的美。我记得小时候这个小说好像是翻成妾室朝阳又照君。
That sounds so nice.
Yeah, 这个好像还不是还拍成电影的名字，好像也是用妾室朝阳又照君不过现在这个我们在这里用的这个翻译是太阳照常升起。那我想不如这个英文的名字非常美的 Sun Also Rises。那这个所以就在巴黎呢 he penned his first novel. Pen 这个字呢就是写作的意思，通常是一个 literary work所以你可以 you can pen a novel, pen a poem, pen a letter, 但是你不会 pen a memo, 有点怪怪的。
You can pen a memo.
You can?
You would be very old-fashioned and literary to do so.
OK, pen a memo 感觉起来就是有比较老式的，很文艺化的一种讲法。
Can I just say The Sun Also Rises is such a great title because the sun rises is a basic fact of our planet. The sun rises. To say the sun also rises, also in comparison to what? So immediately you want to know what he's saying.
Yeah, 这个 title 其实很美而且很棒，因为太阳升起是很正常的事情嘛。可是他说太阳仍然升起，那你就想为什么要加仍然这两个字？你就会想要去看看那个小说到底是为什么那到底为什么？各位也可以去看看这个小说，这个小说相当好看，而且他拍过电影，你也可以找电影先看看，先了解那个情况，然后再去读那个小说。
So the book examines his generation's confusion with life in the aftermath of the war. The aftermath is what happened afterwards, but an aftermath is the bad things that happen after, well, the things that happen after something bad.
Yeah.
So it's like all the terrible stuff that happens. And we just talked about that World War I was a confusing time for everyone because technology had changed how things work, but nobody had quite adjusted to it yet. And everyone was sort of aghast at how horrible it had been. And so his whole generation was very confused about how life should be. after all this difficulty. So they were just lost, honestly. And some people call them the lost generation.
Yeah, 所以 the lost generation 失落的一代。好，那为什么呢？因为他们看到第一次大战打得这么的惨烈，那这个会动摇人们对于很多传统价值的信心啊。例如说人 ，What makes you human？ 啊，那双方都是所谓的文明国家，怎么打起仗来这么的残忍？而且大家都信上帝啊，怎么打起来？哎，好像到底是 your God or my God？ 事实上是同一个 God。啊，那彼此这样互相厮杀啊，所以大家对于文明、对于很多价值都产生了怀疑啊，所以这种 confusion with life， 对于人生到底在干嘛，生命到底是什么啊？一个人为什么可以在瞬间之间灰飞烟灭啊？这个那个一颗炸弹都炸的啊，血肉模糊，人根本可能尸体都找不到了。那什么是人？什么是人生？大家都开始有点 confusion。所以这个书 examines， 它检视，它这个to observe carefully。这个他们那一整代的人，他们的 confusion with life， 那是在 in the aftermath of the war。 aftermath 就是之后所发生的事情，通常是一个不好的事情发生之后的这个后果，后续的事情，例如说一个 disaster， 一个 misfortune 之后的事情。
After the crisis.
Yeah.
Now, during his career, Hemingway would write several acclaimed novels. He wasn't a one-hit wonder. He did a lot of really good work. Oh, as well as short stories.
那在他的这个生涯当中呢，他会 would 就是这个 will 的过去式，他后来会写更多的，他写了几个 acclaimed 就是备受推崇的，英文常常讲说 a critically acclaimed book 啊，就是大家都批评家都很赞扬的一本书啊 acclaimed 在这里就是备受推崇的，他写了很多备受推崇的小说，还有短篇故事，他的短篇故事也非常好看。
He was also fond of travel, and he constantly pursued new adventures.So even though he was injured, he was still just loved being outdoors and doing cool things.
那他很喜欢旅游啊 ，fond of, be fond of 就是很喜欢。然后呢 ，constantly 就是这个 without interruption 啊，他不断的 pursued 追求 new adventures 一些新的冒险。那有人讲这是因为他在战争中受伤啊，而且可能这个失去了这个男性的能力，所以他会反而表现出他是很 manly 的那一部分。
Yeah, also because he got kind of a reputation for being manly, so he kind of felt like he had to keep it up.
Yeah, 那而且呢，他的形象就是非常的这个有男子气概，所以他必须要 keep it up 啊，所以他不断的追求新的这个 adventures.
I think he was kind of, I don't know, personally I think he was kind of haunted by the fact that his reputation was so big. It was bigger than him, and I think that was a huge pressure for him, especially the older he got.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
所以他可能就是他的名气太大哈，然后大家对他的这个太理想化，那他有时候会觉得说他自己其实没有像大家想的那个样，但他自己又一直 push 他自己说我要变成像大家那样，最后可能就受不了了。
And so he went hunting lions in Africa, he went deep sea fishing in Cuba, and he watched bullfights in Spain, and he's famous for doing all of these things.
所以呢，他到非洲去猎狮子，然后呢到古巴去做深海的捕鱼啊，要潜水深海的捕鱼。然后呢，他去西班牙观赏斗牛啊，这个尤其是观赏斗牛，这是他这个很有名的一个兴趣。
So this sentence says, despite his success, even though he was so cool and so well regarded and everything else, he suffered from depression. But I would like to argue that it was because of his success. Or, it was related.
Yeah, 这里是说尽管他很成功啊，但是其实我们也可以去 argue 说，因为他这么成功，所以呢，他 suffered from depression， 他为忧郁所苦。
Sadly, in 1961, he committed suicide. And honestly, if you're ever thinking about doing things like commit suicide, remember, the world is much poorer without you.
好，然后呢，很令人遗憾的1961年他自杀。好，那各位千万不要自杀，因为你一自杀，这个世界少了你会少很多很有趣的事情。
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah.
So Hemingway's straightforward writing style set him apart from his peers. He really pioneered a new way of writing, and he inspired a whole generation of writers, or copycats, as sometimes they're called.
Yeah. 因为很多作家都想要学海明威的写法哈，可是海明威厉害的地方就是他的文字很简单，可是你永远可以看到后面那个7/8的冰山下面的东西。可是很多人呢，只写到冰山上面，那个冰山底下空空的没有啊。那所以这个叫做 copycat。好，那我们看到这个海明威他的 straightforward， 就他很直来直往的 easy to understand， 好 not complex 的这种 writing style set him apart from， 就是使他跟谁截然不同，使他与众不同， 使得他跟谁不同呢？ Set him apart from his peers， 跟他的同侪非常的不一样。
Would you agree with that? He's like the quintessential American author?
Yeah, especially in terms of his style.
Yeah, because it's what everything that Americans admire in writing is Hemingway, basically.
真的是啊，这个美式的英文写作所这个喜欢所追求的东西，就是海明威那种写法。Yeah.
So unlike many authors who were his peers, who relied on long sentences and complicated words, Hemingway preferred a more direct approach.
那不像很多作家他们会写很长的句子，然后用很 complicated 用很复杂的字，那不是这样子。那海明威怎么样呢？他喜欢一个 more direct approach， 他喜欢用比较直接的方法。
He told stories with short, powerful sentences. He pruned out all the excess thing and just boom, got to the matter. And it focused on bold action and tight dialogue. So it was action, it was speech, very little description.
那他比较喜欢一个他说故事呢是用 short 用短的 powerful 但是很有力量的句子。那这些句子呢 focused on 聚焦在于 bold action 就是 bold 就是很有勇气的 daring active 或者是 courageous action。然后呢 tight dialogue 这也是他很有名的，他的对话非常的紧凑，非常的 compact C-O-M-P-A-C-T， 可是很紧凑，可是意思很多。例如说他有一个短篇小说里面男生跟女生可能要分手了，那女生其实已经决定要离开了男生了或者很多人还在 argue 到女生到底会不会离开他，因为他最后那个小说没讲，但是那里面有一个对话非常的漂亮。那个男生跟那女生说你不要走，我们可以去干嘛干嘛干嘛。那可是那女生说了一句话，她说 We could have the whole world 或者 We could have the world。 那男生听了之后就说 We can have the world。 那这个就很厉害，就是 We could have the world 就是我们本来可以拥有全世界，我们两个人相爱到处去玩。然后男生听出来马上说 No We still can have the world。
Yeah.
所以这个我没有去背，但是基本上这个 dialogue 就是那 could 跟 can 之间，这两个之间就两句话就差这么一个字，你就知道意思差很多。这就是他所谓的 tight dialogue 就很厉害这个短短两句话你就看出来后面那个女生已经决定要男生离开这个男生了，可是男生不让这个女生走。Yeah, he's trying to persuade her to stay, but she already made up her mind. We could have the world. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's a very powerful sentence.
It's a powerful sentence.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Hemingway, that's a good example. He got straight to the heart of the matter. He left out the little details he felt the readers knew or could imagine themselves. He didn't want to get them to get in the way.
所以呢 he got straight to the heart of the matter. 他就直接指导事物的核心。然后呢 leaving out 就是 omit little details 这个小的细节他就不讲了，他直接指导事物的核心。那这些小细节呢 he felt the readers knew 他觉得读者看得懂，而且 could imagine themselves 他们自己可以去想象，所以有很多想象的空间。
Perhaps the work that best represents this style is his Pulitzer Prize-winning novella, The Old Man and the Sea. The difference between a novella and a novel is that a novella is shorter.
Novella 是比较小比较没有像小说那么长那所以也许最能够代表他的 style 的书呢，就他获得普利兹奖那个这个中篇小说叫做 The Old Man and the Sea 老人与海。
So we're going to stop here, but tune in tomorrow for the